You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
3, 2, 1.
Spook.
We are gathered here as advisors, as scientists.
The kind of place we expect a ghost to like to wander around.
Hey, we all know that we're gonna die, baby.
I'll help you. I'm something of a witch.
Welcome to Mission Spooky. I'm your fantastic host, JC. With me today, as per usual, the queen of everything herself, Kiki, our local cryptid enthusiast, Cord, the mushroom maiden, Kayla, and me again, because I wanted to introduce me twice. Thanks.
Can you herald yourself? Is that a thing?
I can. Maybe you can't.
Fair enough.
Allow me
To introduce
myself.
Honestly, I feel like that's usually what, like, poor lords and people had to do.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Isn't that my question to ask?
Well, you didn't ask it.
That's because I don't care.
Ooh. Wow. I'm fine, by the way. I'm fine.
Well, you were until that burn, but you'll get there.
I'm still okay. Your words do not hurt me.
That's fair. You know my life.
We all know where you stand, JC.
Well, I sit a lot, but I know what you mean. You're just factually incorrect.
So hey, I had scheduled 2 dead ash trees to be taken down like last year, and the company finally came out and did it because I've told Cord this like a million times, but their lift broke, and so they had to get a part from overseas, and it took that long to get the damn thing. You do realize that I went out and, of course I did rituals on both of those trees because I was like, dude, they're gonna fucking fall, and they're gonna fall on my neighbor's house, and they're gonna fucking kill him. I know it. So I was like, we need to do something. So I went out and I did massive rituals last year, and like, I'm not saying it worked, but of all the trees that fell during the last 2 storms, those 2 didn't move. Okay, so
You heard it here first, guys. If your tree falls, it's because Kiki wants it to.
it's because I didn't do a ritual to
Yes,
not have
she
it fall,
wants you to
right?
die.
With the last 2 storms and us losing power twice because of trees on the other side of the road falling on the power lines. These are well over 100 feet tall. They were very scary. And one was leaning towards my neighbor's house. They finally came today. A&E tree guys, man. They're somewhere near Allentown, I believe.
Thanks for the trees, guys.
Yeah. And they gave me the bad news that the beech tree out front maybe has another year and a half to live. It's an American beech tree. It's beautiful. We were talking about it in the tree episode, our Patreon episode on the magic of trees.
Hell yeah.
So there's your segue into a Patreon. Please sign up.
Yes.
$1 now gets you parts of my grimoire, if you will. So the first thing I'm tackling is moon rituals. And today, well, we record on a Friday, but yesterday was the first full moon of 2024, the wolf moon. And I have a ritual for that, and I'll be doing ones going forward. So even if you missed doing the ritual for January, there'll be one every single month. So that's at the $1 level now, along with our blooper reel stuff. Booper reels. We'll be back with our states for the $3 level that JC's been redoing with me and Cord. So that'll be next month. We're doing Wyoming. So that'll drop for February Patreon. So anyway, join us.
So I can stop having to work as hard. I don't even work that hard anymore.
Well, you know what you need? You need to pick me up. And you can get that in this great little energy drink that I started drinking called Magic Mind. So the concept behind Magic Mind is that you're going to take this in the morning with your coffee. It's going to boost you, give you a little bit of extra energy throughout the day. And hopefully you drink a little bit less coffee because that's all that caffeine's actually not really that good for you. Especially someone who has heart issues, which thankfully I really don't. Fingers crossed it stays that way.
The only issue with my heart is that it's too big.
Yeah, I was going to say that Cord owns it.
Well, that's not an issue. That's ideal.
Clinically, his heart is too big.
Yeah.
So Magic Mind includes herb supplements that some of you folks might already be taking, like vitamin B complex. It's got turmeric in it, so if you have some arthritis issues, it's really good for that. And it's got some top of the line mushrooms that people are talking about all the time, like lion's mane mushroom and cordyceps mushroom that are supposed to be good for concentration. So you take that, and it's all inclusive, so you don't have to take separate dosages. You just take one shot, which I really like. I've been taking it for a few weeks now, and definitely see a difference in the mornings getting through and then not having that like 3 p.m. crash, which is really nice. Really good stuff. So January, though, special offer just for our listeners from Magic Mind. You're going to get 1 month free when you subscribe for at least 3 months. And that's going to be at our website link, which is www.magicmind.com/Jan Mission Spooky, all one word. So JAN Mission Spooky. And if you add code Mission Spooky at checkout, you're going to get an additional 20% off as well. That code at checkout can be used with any order, by the way, not just the monthly order. And we'll have all those links and codes in the show notes. So this is going to be coming out though on the 30th, early morning on the 30th, like 12 a.m. So you'll have today and tomorrow to use these codes if you're interested. And then otherwise that promotion is going to end. Yeah. So today though, we're covering 2 things. I'm not really sure, Cord, like what kind of jokes you're going to have about this stuff, because one of them is ongoing. It's an ongoing issue, but it's been around actually for a few years. So that was kind of intriguing. We'll get into that. And that is what do we want to call these? Like, let's see, the headline is Schuylkill County residents keep finding bizarre printed messages in grocery items. So we're going to go over this bizarre message that's an ongoing issue, and then kind of tying in with an older thing called the Toynbee Tiles. And I will explain what the Toynbee Tiles are and the possible quote conspiracy that some people thought was going on to get more cryptid messages, but those are an older variety. So what do you got, Cord?
How does a poltergeist send letters? Anybody?
How?
Through the ghost office. How does a kitty cat send letters? JC, you should get this one. How does Hopper send letters?
Well, I mean, he's legally not allowed anymore because there were too many. He's won it by a few different nations, but whatever. He used the POFIS.
That's a good one, but no, they usually tend to go with UPSPS.
I mean, I guess.
All right, that got a chuckle. I liked that.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's good. That works though. Yeah, we're sending unwanted letters today, I guess. Oh boy. So
who wants letters? Like, I haven't gotten mail in the last 2 years that I've been like, oh, this is exciting. That's like normal mail.
I had to teach Justin how to mail a letter
That checks out.
recently.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah.
Blue's Clues taught me about letters.
So what do you guys want to start with? Do you want to start with the Toynbee Tiles and what those were, or do you want to end with that, and get into this printed messages inside grocery items?
Start with the tiles.
Okay.
Yeah, I know nothing of the tiles.
Let's start with the tiles then.
The boring stuff first.
Thanks. It's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. There isn't a whole lot to talk about. It's just, technically speaking, this has been going on for about 30 years now. They have been sort of showing up and then disappearing and then showing up and disappearing. They're considered cryptic messages. They're embedded in the tarmac, technically speaking, across America, but not really. It's mostly in Philadelphia. I say 90% of them at this point are from Philly. The creator and the meaning behind these messages remains unknown. This started in the late 80s, and the first message appeared on streets in Philadelphia. The message read, Toynbee, which Toynbee, in case you're wondering. Toynbee idea in movie. 2001, resurrect dead on planet Jupiter. End quote. These are embedded again into a road, a pavement, or a highway. So they become part of this thing that people just call the Toynbee Tiles, or TTT. They are linoleum floor panels carved with words and filled with different colors and they're secured into the ground using layers of tar paper, which then, driven over by passing cars, effectively glues them in place, which also meant it was very difficult to get them and like keep them. The top layer of paper would tear away over time as cars would roll over it, and then that would reveal the tile beneath it, providing an ingenious way of conveying a very baffling message, because most people are like, fuck does this mean?
Because that's a legitimate question.
It always is a legitimate question. What the fuck does this mean? Obviously, the reference here is 2001 Space Odyssey. And then they're speculating whether or not they're connecting scenes in the film, such as the encounters astronaut with this, quote, giant baby and interpreted as a resurrection on the dead planet Jupiter. The name Toynbee, though, refers to an English historian, Albert Toynbee, while others connect it to a short story by Ray Bradbury called The Toynbee Convector, which even has a spaceship called Jupiter 5. So kind of clever. You're not really sure where that's coming from. Is it the historian, or is it Ray Bradbury's book, or is it both?
Here's my theory. These tiles are just different ideas for his fan fiction that he has placed, his fan movie, his fan script that he's just placed all over.
Well, yeah, that was kind of what they thought was this at first. This artist was really just like, coming up with ideas for actual film that they wanted everyone to know about and to make a film about this. So this is spanning 3 decades. They do appear in roads, I said, technically across America. Other cities have been New York, Boston, Baltimore, Kansas, Chicago, and Washington. But there's been over 600 of these tiles in particular, but almost all of them are coming from Philadelphia, though.
As they should, because Philly, if there's going to be something crazy in the world, it's going to come from Philly, okay?
Oh, somebody writing something illegible in the streets of fucking Philly? Who would have guessed?
A good many of them have been photographed in some way, but more of them have been lost or destroyed because of the way that they were produced and put into the ground in the first place and where they were. The tiles did not usually remain in locations for very long before someone in authority removed them.
Goddamn government.
Yeah, and there's a couple of them that they removed and they kept.
Goddamn government. Stealing our goddamn tiles with goddamn weird-ass Philly messages on them.
So, of course, the best part is, though, that despite the widespread appearance of these tiles over the last 30 years, the creator or creators behind them remains elusive, and no one has ever reported seeing them doing the work. Someone has been out there making these things. No one's ever seen one being made, and no one has ever seen one being laid out.
That's because Philly don't got no snitches.
Yo.
Right. Say what you want about Philly. We don't snitch often on each other. Unless you're a Steelers fan.
Yikes.
All of the things that you could see in Philly, that's probably like not the weirdest thing that you would that you would even remember enough to like write it down.
You know what? That's totally fair.
So one of the things that grabbed us, these things are going around, like Schuylkill County residents are getting these things. But now it's not just Schuylkill County, and it's been going on since 2020. And now it's 2024. So, and it's the same message as Kayla, you figured out too. It's the same message. Now, there was one change recently. I do not have a copy of that one. I couldn't find it anywhere. But someone mentioned that they had gotten a new updated one for 2024 that had some, anti-Hamas stuff in it and some Zionist propaganda. I can attest to that because I actually got one mailed to me at my fucking house. And I'll read what that says because it's very simple. I connect fx.com interview hidden agenda Israeli news live. Handwritten note from Philadelphia. This was dated November of 2023. So it was right after what happened in October.
So this is a note that you just got, or someone got it and mailed it to you?
Oh no, they mailed it directly to our house. it said to the residents of, and then our address, and then from Phil. Like I have a copy of it. It's like it's handwritten, and they're just hoping that someone at this address was going to listen to their bullshit. I guess was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
like
look at us now talking about it to our dozens of listeners.
Heyo, got him.
yeah. I actually posted this on Reddit. I posted it under Pennsylvania Reddit because I wanted to see if anyone else had received a similar thing. And then we started getting the tie-ins to what was going on in Schuylkill County back in 2020. And then that got updated on Reddit with people saying, nope, this hasn't changed. It's still the same damn thing. And it's weird as fuck. Who wants to try to tackle some of what's written in here?
I, as we all know, don't know how to read.
As for what they say, I have found pictures of 2 separate notes, and they all basically say the same thing. There are certain themes on both notes. Like, there's different names on each note depending on what year, basically, it was put out. The ones closer to 2020, they'll name check Pfizer.
Yeah, that's something else I want to get into, too. This is a little bit separate from this, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. But they mention, like, companies like Disney, Exxon, Ford, Pfizer, Chevy, Jell-O, Domino's, Target, and NBC. They also mention schools like Harvard and Yale because they also mention the Skull and Bones. They mention the KKK. They talk about JFK. They talk about Oprah, Putin, Bill Gates.
BMW and Purina. They're together, by the way. Oh, and we'll get in. I'll get into that. But they're almost like they're breaking things down according to symbology that they're seeing within these corporate logos. In this case, It was the red, white, and blue from BMW and Purina. Even though like our flag is red, white, and blue, but yet that's not mentioned. I feel like there's a lot missing here.
Yeah, they use SS a lot, but SS in this case is meaning secret society.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of people are like, oh, Nazis. No, they're talking about secret societies. It's like the whole Illuminati, New World Order kind of deal. They mention disarming the population and guns, that kind of thing. They talk about pedophilia. They talk about the Democrats, Elon Musk. There's mention of the god Saturn. And funny enough, the Lord of the Rings, as if, like, the Lord of the Rings is symbolism for this cult who worship Saturn. And in both notes, they mention an ancient race called the Dragon Kings, who are apparently the origin of all royalty.
Okay, except that's Lovecraft.
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, man, I was like, oh, God, are we really doing the Dragon Kings? Yeah, that's the Lovecraft. The front for a tiny ancient race called the Dragon Kings, DK. Their long skulls and masked images and cave cities were found in Peru, Easter Island, the Black Sea. DK's agenda is, and then we'll go into what that is. But the Dragon Kings it's Lovecraft. It's not even fucking real. Lovecraft is not real, people. It's stories. Okay, it's a book.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that the Bible's not real.
The best way that I could read this was that they had found these skulls, which I'm also assuming might be like, you know, those skulls that they're talking about, where they were talking about if they were Nephilim for a long fucking time.
Okay, so are you talking about the, quote, giant skulls? Or are you talking about the skulls that are deformed with the elongated skulls?
Yeah, my first thought was like those quote unquote giant skulls. But it's talking about, they found all the images. They found the cave cities all over the world. Their agenda was to create socialism and a secret society based on pedophilia.
Can I get... Oh, wait. No, never mind. I'm out.
You got to listen. You got to listen to the whole pitch. It's based on pedophilia and anti-family biases. And to rule, the only way they could do it is to disarm and surveil you, to watch you all the time, make sure you have no weapons.
Well, they're doing a bad job at that.
Well, I was going to say, we can start from the beginning because I have it in front of me, but it's fucking... Okay, so SS, secret societies. Ties to terrorism, shootings, staged...
Confrontations.
Confrontations and other crises aren't reported. So I took that as that they were not reporting it enough. I don't know. But JFK/Lincoln warned of secret societies. Okay. Europe's Aryan elite and their secret society. Oh, by the way, those are the, in parentheses, Vatican, Jesuits, and Masons. Okay, let's just get into that for a second. Okay, the Vatican's always been a secret society as far as everyone's fucking concerned. Catholics have been looked down upon from the beginning. They're the outsiders. They're the ones who are literally like, we might as well have been practicing witchcraft already, according to Protestants. And I'm speaking from someone who was raised Catholic. So that's one time I told someone that I was Catholic and they literally were like, I have to save your soul. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Thanks. Interesting that Jesuits are put into this because Jesuits are just Catholics as well. And I know Jesuits, very nice people. Actually, it's interesting. Those are the nice Catholics. Those are the ones who are like, hey, gay folks should be able to come to church. Jesus didn't say anything about gay. Literally, these are the Jesuits that I know and are practicing Catholics and who are very much like, we need to stop this crap and everyone should come to worship, because if we don't, we're going to lose followers and we need to change with the times. And besides that, none of this stuff is in the Bible anyway, so fuck it. They also do a lot of actual community service. So I'm kind of like, dude, you're lumping in Jesuits in here. Do you even know what they do? Because I feel like that's just some
I
buzzword.
feel like it's because it's like a weird word.
Yeah, I swear, I think I agree. And then of course there's the Masons, and that's a whole other fucking episode, but it is what it is. Then, of course, they're leading the secret societies, running other religions, okay? And they are the Illuminati. So, okay, Kayla, the Vatican, Jesuits, and Masons are actually running other religions, and they are the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Okay.
Well, and I can say, as somebody who knows many Masons, they ain't doing shit. They ain't doing shit. Not one of the Masons that I know could run his way out of a paper bag.
Are they okay with like building walls?
They probably could if they tried real hard.
Like doing any kind of masonry work?
I've never seen them do it.
That's what they should be doing. Right?
Though one of them, I would not be sure he could lift a brick, to be honest. So
that is rough.
Okay, so the next line, secret rites / sign system unite secret societies, which is what you were about to get into. That's why I was like, let me stop and we'll kind of go back for a second.
And that's rights, RITE.
So that's Trump, Biden, Dalai Lama. One of these things is not like the other. Okay, and then sign, secret society symbols related to Saturn, God of Time, Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure what the RGS means.
I was just wondering if it was like rings.
Then we're back to the Vatican, the EU, how mafias
ring kissing.
Right, kiss the ring of stars. The UN, China, Islam's crescent. These are all now, we're getting into the symbols that they recognize each other by.
Yeah, that they're all the same countries, that the mafia, the UN, the China is all following.
And also
Saturn.
Islam's crescent, which is a half of a ring, right? Often with a star ball. By the way, there are words that are underlined. So I meant to take all the underlined words and see if they like made a sentence of any kind, but I forgot to do that. So star is underlined. Police, military stars. Apparently those are also just more stars. Then there's the prayer wheel. So that's also apparently either bad or whatever by these guys. Oh, of course, pyramids, fire, the torch, which is Saturn's burning pole, white rays, which is Fox News, CDC. Then there's a cross. We're supposed to be wary of the cross, which is just with rings and flame squared. The KKK, which I can agree, yes, sure, they suck. They definitely suck. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Hot take. You know.
We're back. We're back to the Vatican and Exxon's double cross. Clock / watchtower, JWs. Okay.
Are we talking about Jehovah's?
Yeah, I think that's Jehovah's Witness, the watchtower. Witnesses have made it in here. Secret societies say that Saturn was near Earth, the golden age when the gods ruled man. It's an elite front for a tiny ancient race called the Dragon King. See, that's where you have to be careful. It's a tiny ancient race, not giants.
Okay, so it wasn't the Nephilim. All right.
No. Their, quote, long skulls in masked images and cave cities were found in Peru, Easter Island, Black Sea. Okay, so their long skulls, I believe they're talking about cranial deformation, which I know a lot about as an archaeologist, anthropologist. That is skull binding. It's done to create a very specific looking skull. And, that's like 10,000 years of artificial cranial deformation that we have. It's not like one or two fucking skulls, people. It's been going on for ages, and it falls in line with the same kind of foot binding that you see going on too. So it's not just heads, there's other parts of the bodies that have been altered in the same way. So y'all need to get off of that shit, because there's an explanation for that, and it's not aliens.
I was just about to say, and the explanation is aliens.
It's not aliens. Okay?
We want to look like our alien overlords.
Well, apparently, according to this, you do. Okay, so the Dragon King's agenda, which, by the way, I just said, Dragon Kings refers to the Lovecraftian thing, socialism and caste system. So, damn it. Okay, and secret societies, sexism, pedophilia, anti-family bias. To rule, the Dragon Kings need to dismantle surveillance or survey us and pop-ins. Maybe pop-ins,
surveilled pop-ins,
yeah.
Like them coming in your house and looking at what you're doing and all that kind of thing.
Okay, right. And then the secret society, no fear, and here we go. Internet media magnifies crisis as random, created, permit more government, corporation control. So, military, government, military, corporation control. I'm like, okay, but that's all going on already, and it has nothing to do with secret societies. They're just fucking doing it to us.
No, that's the thing. You think it only has to do with this one thing, but it is actually a secret society of tiny people who really love Lord of the Rings.
Yes, but oh wait, there's more symbolism. As Kayla mentioned, we have the cube. Sorry, it's just a cube. The cube slash Kabbalah, which would be Kabbalah, beads, dots. So, God damn it, JC, no more anal beads, JC. Can't do it. I know you're upset.
You can't stop him.
I know. So beads, dots, which they're saying is rosary, bindi, and Saturn's moons. Okay, JC, I take it back. I guess anal beads are okay.
No, they're not okay. They mean that you worship Saturn.
No, it only says rosary and bindi and Saturn's moons. So I think it would have to say anal beads directly.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. I think we're okay. I think JC actually went to go check his dinner, and we're saying all this shit about anal beads.
Probably. He doesn't listen to the episodes anyway, so he won't know.
That's great. Okay, so then we got down to the snake knot and the key capstone.
The snake knot. Cord, as a Boy Scout, is that a knot?
Not that I recognize.
I would think that'd be the Ouroboros.
Not that I recognize. Yeah, got him.
Bitch.
Are we talking Keystone? It's in Pennsylvania. The Ouroboros is in Pennsylvania.
Oh, Cord, you're wrong. There is a snake knot, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'll fucking
What
know.
a shitty Boy Scout.
Dude, I haven't been a Boy Scout for 20 years.
I'm going to take back your little ascot that they give you.
So there's the Chinese snake knot, which symbolizes good fortune. I'm pretty sure that's what they're talking about. The snake, the entwined snake. Or there's also a Celtic snake knot as well that people are probably really familiar with. Possibly the Ouroboros could be kind of a knot because this is in a circle and they've been going on about circles. 10 rings now for the whole fucking time. So
I always thought it was Ouroboros that they were talking about.
So key capstone. Yep, there's Pennsylvania. It's our fault. Okay. Spinning symbols, like a spiral. The Nazis' black sun. Eye, half of a face, as in the target's bullseye or CBS's bullseye. Yeah, it's all making sense now, right, guys?
Sure.
Tip-off terms such as new age or new day. It uses set signs.
So I just want to say, so that's saying that anyone who talks about being new age or their crystals and all that shit, they're part of the secret society. And who was just talking about doing rituals? Kiki.
Kiki! It's about you!
Cast spells on our trees to surveil our people for Saturn.
Shit.
It's all coming together, isn't it?
She got you now. She got you.
And I happen to know a lot about the Dragon Kings and skull deformities. So I also like the Lord of the Rings.
And whose son happens to be named Samwise? Me. It was me the whole time.
Shit. I knew it. Secretly, we are this. This is it. This is the thing. I shop at Target all the time, so there you go.
Between all this and JC's beads, I'm the only one.
Cord snake knot.
Cord doesn't even know how to do a snake knot. That's the best part. He's oblivious.
Yeah, okay.
But wait, we're not done. We might be able to get to the end of this, and Cord, you might actually be part of this, and you don't even realize it. Okay, so it uses set signs and motions of pointing, crossing, or displaying a ring or a watch, touching your ear, pinching your lapel, and then specific colors. Okay, so these are people who do these things. They're saying that Oprah, Putin, and Gates, and local and state officials,
that they do it all the time. Don't ask for the time, or you are part of a secret society.
Yeah, forget about wearing a ring or having a watch, guys. You're fucked. We know it. We know who you are now. Okay.
Don't touch your ears at all.
Yeah. Okay, there are more symbols, of course, which naturally is going to include the rainbow.
We're going to start with just the entire rainbow.
Saturn's rings again. So red, white, and blue. As I mentioned, the colors apparently of BMW and Purina. Okay.
So they're claiming that Saturn's rings are rainbow colored.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. And then red, white, and blue is BMW. All right. Go on. Oh, and the Buddhists' orange robes.
Yes, that was the next thing. Yep, you got it. So you can't be a Buddhist. You're in on it. Robe with a colored dot. Yes.
No, eye with colored dot. I'm pretty sure they're talking about those red forehead dots. Indian?
Oh, yeah, perhaps. Yep. Because then we go into flower, mandala, and BP, meaning BP oil. They have a flower that's green, and that looks similar to a mandala. I had to look that up. I was like, BP. Oh, you're right. BP oil does have the fucking thing. Then, of course, there's the Jewish star. God damn it. Which is actually apparently a gate, an arch, or a dome. I don't know. I guess in their mind, it opens up a portal to the Fey realm. Boy, that would be fucking cool. What if this whole time the Jews just knew how to get to the Fey realm?
All right. I'm ready. I'll convert.
Figured it out. And then there's the wings, or shell grail, skull and bones. There's your skull and bones. And that the secret societies breed corruption locally to
internationally.
Locally to internationally, right? And then, man, we got it all. Drugs, sports, universities,
public education.
Yeah, public education are tools of control.
And in very large font on the side of the paper, it just says lies twice.
Can't forget that part, because I'm confused about whether or not it actually meant that everything that's said on this paper was lies, because it could be interpreted in that way.
Ooh.
So you had mentioned some of the places that specifically these things were being found in, and I went on the Reddit because I wanted to see if anybody else had any additional. So there was one in a cake mix box, but didn't say what brand.
Duncan Hines.
Oh, nice. There was one in a it just says mac and cheese box, and that happened 2 months ago. There was one in a Cheerios box, one in a Kellogg's fruit snacks. No, that was 2 years ago. Oh, a trail mix box. Sorry, 3 years ago was a trail mix box.
From the articles that I had read, it said there were at least 36 witnesses, and of those people, like tea boxes, eye drops, fruit snacks, chocolate bars, the Lucky Charms cereal, different candies. And when I say candies, I mean the movie theater, like boxed candies like you would get at the dollar store, like the Milk Duds and shit like that. As well as some cookies. And like I said, my neighbor, his mother got it in a box of the Lipton iced tea, like the drink mix.
And then, like I said, the one that was in the mac and cheese one that was just 2 months ago, they've added additional information about Hamas and some more current events in it. So whoever's doing it is changing it slightly, but seems like for the most part, it is the one that I just read in its entirety. So.
And I did see that they were talking about in some articles finding them like in public places, like in state parks, like in the Skook.
Right. It's interesting that a lot of people will go right to this is quote classic schizophrenic writing, but someone else pointed out that the way that it's written with all of the parentheses and underlinings and all of the way that they've truncated the words and use an apostrophe, kind of like old English, trying to get more into it, that's not necessarily someone who's schizophrenic at all. That's someone who's got some control over thoughts in a way that they're setting this up. So I don't buy that it's someone that's quote got a mental problem. I think these people literally just believe this is real. So.
When I look at this note, I don't see schizophrenia. I see somebody who thinks like, and it could be mental illness in whatever capacity. It's kind of an argument. At what point does a person who believes in a conspiracy theory become mentally ill? I mean, there's more than one person who believes in this. I don't think my personal belief, and we can get into that later, I don't think this is one person at all.
I concur. It almost can't be.
But I do have the second note if we want to go over that, because it is a little different.
Yes.
And just because this one was happening 4 years ago, this one is also an old one. Along the same lines, before we come to the future and the new one, I mentioned that there was something going around during COVID that was showing up again in boxes of food and just random places. It's a card, and one side of it says, "Educate before you vaccinate. Your children, your choice, your rights," which I could go on forever about how that's not necessarily true either. You don't own children. The VIC Fellowship, Vaccine Information Coalition. By the way, this is in fucking Palm Beach, Florida, and this shit was showing up in our Pennsylvania Center County food boxes during COVID.
Goddamn snowbirds.
This is my favorite part. It says the vaccine ingredients are MSG, antifreeze, formaldehyde, aluminum, glycerin, lead, cadmium, sulfates, yeast, proteins, antibiotics, acetone, streptomycin, mercury, monkey kidney, duck egg, calf serum, aborted fetal tissue, pig blood, horse blood, sheep blood, rabbit brain, guinea pig, cow heart, animal viruses, insect cells, silkworm, DNA, E. coli, etc. I don't know what I just read.
You put a little bit of salt and pepper on there, Kiki? I'm in. That sounds like a good time.
I'm surprised they didn't put the gay on that list.
Yeah.
Just the gay. The entire gay agenda.
Right. DNA, the gay, etc. But no, it ended on E. coli because that's scarier, I guess, maybe to some people.
To be fair, I do fear E. coli more than the gay community.
Me too, yeah.
Would it be a shorter list to just say what they didn't put in the vaccine?
I think so.
It's honestly, it's like just about, yeah. But once you start listing all the things in there, it's like, well, you already made the list. He didn't know it was going to be that long.
They're just like, let's have a meeting. Like, what should we write on the list is like in the vaccine. Like, this is like a focus group. And they're all just like, pig blood, horse blood. No, both. Oh, yeah, let's add that. We're going to add that. That sounds scary. Typhus. Let me write that down.
Were they just trying to like make an amalgamation of stuff where it's like, yeah, let's see if these idiot shills will put this in their body. Like, what was that concoction supposed to do?
But I'll be like completely honest. There are those things inside certain vaccines.
There are some of those things inside vaccines. And it's like such a minute amount.
In harmless quantity.
Yeah, sure.
You can also die from salt, you know. I mean, like, people go, oh, this is in...
Yeah,
this is in your food.
You put too much salt and pepper on there and whoo, it gets hot. It gets spicy up in there.
Excuse me?
Since we're, scientific here, let's go to duck egg embryo, for example. That's a vaccine for human use in treating pre and post exposure to rabies. And it was developed in 1957, folks. This is not like some shit that's been just concocted in the last like couple of years to scare the shit out of you because of COVID. This is what kills me about people who do not understand what the fuck a vaccine is and what's in it to begin with. So that list is made up of like buzzwords that will make you sick, right? Oh God, that's terrible. Like, what the fuck is that shit? I'm not putting that in my body. Monkey kidney, okay, but do we know what that was used for and why and what year? Because some of these things were necessary to help with very serious conditions that we did not have any. You got bitten by a fucking raccoon with rabies, you can die. Okay, so
I mean, maybe you can. I get stronger, become Raccoon Man.
Chuck Norris, though, he bites back, right? I don't.
Yeah, cut this part out. Yeah,
whatever. I'm just saying. So let me go back to the monkey kidney. Apparently, it was a contamination issue with certain vaccines for polio during the 50s and 60s. And there was a study to find out if that mistake had any kind of effect on people getting cancers like mesothelioma, osteosarcoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And they couldn't find any sort of increase in any of those things because of that mistake. But see, that wasn't supposed to happen. So for you to give me a card that says that is in every vaccine, or to make me afraid that it's not true, people, like, do homework.
These crazy cards have things that aren't true in them? Oh my gosh.
But that's the thing. And I like to point out that going back to the Schuylkill County thing, which we now know is not happening just in Schuylkill County, but it kind of like originated there in 2020 and has moved on. There's a lot of these newer ones targeting Center County, Pennsylvania, and they're thinking that they're trying to target young mothers who would be very afraid of not only the vaccine one back in the day, but some of this new Illuminati bullshit happening again, right? Oh gosh, we don't want any of these things to happen to any of our children. What I think is hysterical, though, is that Center County has gone Democrat, 100% blue during the last primary election. If that tells you anything about how Pennsylvania is becoming more and more Democrat, and even Center County getting away from Republicans because they ain't doing shit for us. And that's what a lot of this conspiracy crap is for. It's for scaring people and getting them to vote a certain way right now. And it's so dumb.
Do you want to know my theory about why Pennsylvania's turning blue? Because all of the fucking Republicans in Pennsylvania are moving to fucking Florida.
There's that too, yeah.
Their kids are staying in Pennsylvania.
You know why I think they're turning blue? Because they done forgot how to breathe.
I was waiting.
Edit? Wow, that's a good one. I like that chord. You laugh at my jokes? I'll support your jokes.
You won't laugh at them, you'll just support them.
There's a reason why these things, showed up in 2020 and kept coming at us since now. It's just like sending me something in the snail mail to get me to go to a website, which, by the way, thank you very much, Reddit users. 123 of you responded positively to us putting that up there as Mission Spooky, like the one that I got sent, because I asked that question. What the hell is this? Some of them were kind enough to go to the website for me because I absolutely refused to do it. And they said, yes, it's a bunch of Zionist propaganda. I, on this show, am not going to get into at all the difference between being a Zionist and being Jewish. Look it up. It is what it is, folks. Listeners, I trust you guys that you can go find that information out on yourself. There is a difference. Yeah, so Kayla has the newer version of this.
Actually, looking this over, I think the version we just read is the newer version.
Oh, okay. Oh,
because
good. Well,
I think this is the 2020 version, and the only reason I say that is because, and this is from Coal Region Canary, so it's the same thing. It starts with, secret societies are tied to drugs, riot, and terrorism. JFK, no mention of Lincoln in this one, JFK warned of secret societies. A sign, a word, a symbol unites the secret society. It's tied to Saturn, Lord of the Rings, again, and time. Toyota, RGS, I guess rings, again. NBC, CIA's bird, underlined.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Cross with the Ring of Fire. Bayer, as in aspirin.
Mm-hmm.
The KKK, which is the same as aspirin, apparently. Yale and Harvard's shield being underlined. Cube squared, Department of Education, in parentheses. Now it moves on to say pyramids / a ... Not sure what that is supposed to mean. Paramount is in parentheses. At least it looks like paramount. Again, we mentioned the eye with the half a face. Target, the Nazis' black sun, the spirals, the number 69.
Nice.
Damn it.
But it's spiral / E/6/9. But 9 is underlined. So the 9 in the 69 is the important part.
Close enough to 69 for me, baby.
Disney in parentheses, but only the DIS is underlined. The secret societies, their agents and families, are creating division and conditioning us to be controlled. Clues: the New World Order equals New Age or era. Change identity in quotation marks. Underlined ID. Secret society. Rels, RELS, merge.
Or religions, I think, is religions. Yeah.
They're talking about the Vatican, the EU, the Mafia, FBI, Ring of Stars, dots, ring kissing again, China, and Islam's crescents. They talk about the stars. But again, it just as opposed to the one we just read, it's more just the words instead of the last one. It kind of almost made a sentence, kind of like explaining itself. And I'd like to do a word count on this one versus that one to see maybe which one has more words. Maybe this one's just trying to mention more people, and that's why it has less room of explaining. But it talks about the Euro, Fox and CNN, Cup / Bowl, Grail / Sports. So you can't watch the Super Bowl.
Can't watch Mighty Python's The Holy Grail either. That's
Crown with a Sword, the Aryans, the Nationals, the Christians, ID, capitalized and underlined, the colors red, orange, and pink, Crest, toothpaste, Mobile, 7-Eleven, and 4C. So double, Malta, Exxon, EPIS, Episcopal, I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Hindus, swastika. The secret society is a front for a tiny older race called the Dragon Kings. In parentheses, royalty's origin. DK's long skulls. And their architecture were found in Turkey, India, Easter Islands. Their agenda: to make a surveillance state, caste system, debt and inflation, confusion, crime, shootings, illegal immigrants, universe, universal, I guess, media's gender ID politics. So this note specifically has now mentioned gender identity twice to confuse people. They're trying to make you question your gender, apparently. Elites, misogyny, pedophilia, symbols, the DOT, the NRA, DQ, DD, ED.
Goddamn Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's Dairy Queen and Dunkin' Donuts.
Yep.
They're gonna get you. Again, they talk about the rainbow, arch and gates, a lion, heart, wing, horned objects, the keystones, gems and crystals. Again, and here it specifically calls out Kiki, pillars, wands, arrows,
God damn it, Kiki.
and trees. Bell Clock Tower, Mount Zion, Zen, and Blue, BLU. We got Burger King, Pfizer, Ford, and the Ritz. The signing uses, which is again, how are they telling us what they're doing? Touching their chin or their ear, frequently pointing, pinching their lapel, finger lapel. They finger their lapel in this one.
Okay, listen,
I thought you were gonna say finger licking
Me
good,
too.
and I'm like, that's fucking funny.
You can't wink. No raising your foot. You can't raise your hand in a fist because socialism, parentheses, horns, / okay, ... Oprah, Musk, GOP Democrats, school. school board, local leaders, sign. Signs date to Saturn's golden age. His symbols include I'm assuming geometry, flowers, stars, EMS, spinning like symbols, BP, MIL, Walmart, wheel, fountain, bees and butterflies, snake with his tongue out, Dasani, torch, UN's grid, ivy web, hair knot.
Has anyone else just zoned out by now? Because
Yeah.
wait, what?
Dude, what?
I'm just reading the
fuck?
note. I'm reading the note. If anything stands out to you, I'm just reading the note.
I'm sorry. Is this
Energy
all in
symbol.
the same note? You're still reading?
Yeah,
Or is
this
it-
is the same note.
How
Until
they
like
fit all of this shit in there?
Yeah. So this is why I think that this is older, because this is much harder to read.
Okay, that's fair.
Energy symbols. Spark light, dots, dole and post, like post cereal, dole fruit, lamp, lanterns, Illuminati, lightning bolts. I'm almost there. Tilted, altered crosses, dominoes,
My favorite game.
YI,
Pizza.
Chevy, Jello, Buy N Cafe, Dart or checkerboards.
Oh, Nescafe.
Okay. Darts and checkerboards, broken of a different length rays, skull
Right.
and bones, X, in parentheses, Ger Secret Society, GER.
German.
Oh, yeah.
Germany?
Okay, so the the actual Nazis this time.
Maybe.
Shell,
That's not that secret of a society.
candle without the E. Resistance grows. The enemy needs to disarm the population is the final line. Now, this one, unlike the other one where it has like lies written real big on the side, this one does not say that at all.
Okay, I have another one. I'm not going to read the whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah, please.
oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
I know how much.
My
I know
brain's
how
in a
much you're
melt.
all enjoying that.
No, but I will just tell you the which are kind of striking. So all of it is kind of the beginning is the same, except that we have to add in lesser royalty as a front. Okay, lesser royalty. I'm not sure who those people are. They also added Joel
That's
Oates.
because they're lesser.
Right, I don't know those guys. Yeah, they're lesser than me. They added Joel Osteen in there, which good on them for that. Yeah, that guy's a dick.
All right, I'm on board. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
now I'm in. I'm in now. They wanted to make sure that we understood that the Dragon Kings had red-headed skulls.
Oh shit!
Now you're fucked. Yep. You're fucked now.
And crystals? Oh shit!
They added an obelisk. Did you mention that one in that one?
No, not at all.
Okay, so obelisk got added or whatever. So you can't say new age, new day, new era, new dawn, new hope, JC.
But I love the New Day.
Star Wars. This thing was written by George Goddamn Lucas. I know it. You know what? I had a hunch this whole time. Definitely a George Lucas thing.
I threw that in for you, Cord.
It also says in the set signs you can't gesture the OK symbol, like everything's A-OK.
I don't think I've used that symbol in literally years, but now I'm going to make it a point to.
They also specifically mention not the military, but pentagram/pentagon and rainbow, and this one specifically says LGBTQ. There you
Oh,
go.
at least they finally specified they have no problems with the regular rainbow.
Right. It's just that one. The joke is there, guys. Okay, right. Like it's the same, but whatever. Just so you know. In case you were thinking that we were being anti-LGBT, we're not. Okay. And then everything else is the same about the media controlling it. This one's very short. This one's actually a lot shorter, and so there's a lot taken away, but there's a few additions specifically. Yeah. So good times. Good times.
I'm so confused.
You and me both, Cord.
And you're just like, what the fuck are we even talking
I know.
about?
Now, I also want to tell you that these things, you were right about them being found in places outside as well. Someone claims that they found one stuffed inside their door. So when they opened their car door, it fell out, picked it up and read it because they're thinking, oh, someone left me a note. I mean, yeah, they did. It's this messed up fucking thing.
Oh, great. Someone hit my car. Oh, no, it's just the Illuminati.
Right? Yes, really.
Doubt they even left their insurance contact information.
So that was back in 2020. A lot of these are from 2020. They were in Alpo, dog biscuit box, saltines, gluten-free cookies at Aldi's, hot chocolate box.
Wait, isn't Aldi's, okay, hear me out. Aldi's is owned, I'm pretty sure, by a German company.
Mhm.
They had the GRM or whatever it
I
was
know.
earlier.
I know.
So maybe Aldi's, who pays their employees to sit down, that's kind of socialist move if I've ever heard of one.
More like
I'm already having a headache.
more like all these nuts.
Yeah, you go.
Oh, shit, Cord.
Now, this one's a little disconcerting. There was one found inside of a children's ibuprofen, the Walmart brand, but taped to the inside of the box, and that was in Lehighton.
Great.
Yeah. So that means somebody had to fucking open the box and reseal it like you were saying you could do with a hot gun.
Yeah. So let me just say this real quick. Of course, one of the dumbest fucking ones happened in Lehighton. Like, one of the most obvious tampered boxes happens in Lehighton.
Someone said that they found them inside books at a Walmart again, and they were inside children's books. So if you were flipping through Magic Treehouse or Goosebumps for kids, they bought them. Their daughter came home with them, and she is flipping through them, and she's like, what the hell is this? The amount on this particular website, it goes on and on and on forever, but you get kind of the idea. Maxwell House coffee. It's just, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's in everything.
So it kind of leads us to the, who do you think's doing it? The first theory that everybody had was because they found the one inside the cereal box in the bag of cereal, that this was happening on the production level. And I don't believe that at all, just because of the fact that if this was happening at a production level, you would be seeing more than just Pennsylvania notes.
Exactly.
This would be going to other states. This would be happening. And plus, if it's a production level, we wouldn't be seeing the range of products, because it's not just food products. It's also like eye drops and Tylenol and stuff like that. This next theory comes if it's not happening from production level. Maybe it's happening at the distribution level. Maybe this person works in a warehouse and they're sticking them in as they're picking and packing or stuff like that, which makes more sense, but it still doesn't make sense because it's so local to Pennsylvania.
Okay, so they have been found in Ohio and Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's still kind of local when you think about it.
No, I'm just saying they are. I just wanted to make sure, because we were really focusing on just PA, but I just wanted to make sure that was... When you said distribution center, I looked it up because I was like, oh, what if it is something like that? Because that would also make sense if it goes to Ohio and Maryland. Maybe someone is doing it on the distribution level.
It would make sense if the items were only being found at Giant, because Giant is a Northeast brand. Giant is...
Or by a specific company, like Kellogg products.
Yeah, like CNS Grocers or something like that.
But it seems to be a wide range of production companies and a wide range of stores and locations. So it's very hard to pin down and be like, it's definitely just this.
Walmart does have its own distribution centers, so it's not going to be my only thing was intermingling of things, but I'm thinking of an Amazon warehouse that has many different products, because sometimes I'll order something like a snack pack that's on sale, for the kid, food wise. So it's interesting because so far no one has, and that's the thing, no one's received anything from Amazon that had anything weird in it. So that would lead me to believe that it's somebody on the ground going inside the store and either purchasing the item and doing what they're doing, taking it apart and putting something in it, or they're slipping it in there. Honestly, it's probably purchasing and returning. And not necessarily returning for money. This is somebody who has money and they're probably purchasing, putting the shit together, and then taking it back into the store and dropping it off and not giving a shit about how much money they wasted. Because let's face it, somebody spent money on mailing me a fucking handwritten piece of paper from Philadelphia.
Mhm.
Honestly, my theory is I think that this started as like maybe just one person who had way too much fucking time on their hands. I don't know what level. Were they in the warehouse? Were they going through the store? Were they buying stuff and turning it? I don't fucking know. But I think somebody did this and it got caught on. And it's like those fucking stickers that you see thrown all over gas stations, right? Like the I did this Joe Biden stickers, where people thought it was so interesting and weird that now they're just playing into it. And people are just, they're printing them out, it's spreading, and people are talking about it. So everyone wants to be like, oh, I found one too. So who knows how many of the claims were actually even people finding this in their stuff or people saying that they found it in their stuff. Because I'm a skeptic. I am skeptic about everybody who claims anything. I believe that this note at one point or another, and I honestly don't even know that I believe that this note was written by the person who planted it the first time. I think they saw this online and were like, holy shit, this guy's got it figured out, and spread it that way. Like, I'm not even convinced that the writer of this note is the person who planted it.
All this conspiracy crap and all these written things and all the symbols that come up and all the everything reminds me of 1980s Satanic Panic with one of my ultimate favorite ones, the Procter & Gamble Satanic Panic. Oh my God, the president of Procter & Gamble went on Phil Donahue and said that they support the Church of Satan, and that's their logo. Actually, even says so because it's the man in the moon with a bunch of stars. And boy, howdy, let me tell you how quickly that rumor turned into a real thing that fucking Procter & Gamble had to spend decades of battling the false claims that they were satanic worshipers and that you shouldn't buy Procter & Gamble products. That's how fucking dumb people are. I'm sorry.
Wait, you mean people that just think like D&D has demonic and satanic? Because people are fucking stupid. People are just fucking dumb.
Yeah. Or how someone said that my niece is satanic because she happens to wear black a lot.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
And that's recently. They're not talking about the 80s. We're talking about yesterday.
My father refused to let either of my sisters wear black or skulls into their like late teens. And the only reason he let them start wearing, he still didn't let them wear skulls, but the only reason he let them wear black was because they bought their own clothing. So there are people out there.
Imagine being that scared of something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people that their total comes up to $6.66 and they're like, oh, I gotta get a piece of candy. Can't be paying the devil's number. One,
Can confirm.
It's not the devil's number because that's a whole other debate. But even if 666 was, well, there's a fucking point in there. 6.66 is not his fucking number. But whatever.
The mental gymnastics necessary to get to that point is
Yep.
something else.
It's fear. It's fear mongering actualized.
It's what I would call delusional.
So like quickly, Procter & Gamble had a man in the moon with a star symbol that started in approximately 1875. And this rumor started during the Satanic Panic, which we've gone into several times about that horrible time in our lives.
Well, wasn't really in my life.
That horrible time in Kiki's life.
Whatever. I meant ours as like Gen X. We had to deal with this bullshit.
We're not old enough to have dealt with that. Just like the other three people on the podcast. Just so we're all aware that you're old, Kiki.
I kind of caught the end of it.
Well, we're going through it again is the problem. Because people are trying to like, scare people, like you just said. Oh, don't do this, don't do that.
I'll take this moment again to share a very, very quick story. I went to a wedding. It was a Christian wedding, wearing my pentagram. And my aunt came up to me, like through marriage, it's my husband's aunt. She came up to me and asked me if I was Jewish. And that's about how well the people who wrote this note understand symbolism.
Maybe she just thought because you were a ginger. I don't know.
Apparently, it might be a gateway to the Fey realm, so I don't know.
Wait, pentagrams or
No,
what?
Judaism. Before I forget, I do want to make this point. Whoever is doing this, because obviously somebody is doing this, it's really important to remember when they do get caught, because eventually somebody will get caught. Food tampering in the United States is a felony. You can get 10 years in prison for attempting to tamper with a food product. If a death is caused because of your tampering, that's life in prison. This is not on top of the fines of thousands of dollars you get for tampering with food. And I forgot to add, if you do serious bodily injury but without killing somebody, you still get 20 years. So just for anybody who thinks that this is actually fun and they just kind of want to keep it going, you will get a felony and you will go to prison.
See, the thing is, Kayla, is that's all the deep state trying to control you. If you were a free thinker, you'd know that the only prison is the society. So you're kind of already in prison if you really think about it because of the deep state and stuff.
No, I've visited prison. It's worse. I promise.
In 1990, and then again in 95, Amway distributors, and some of you may recognize Amway. They were third-party distributors, and they used very aggressive sales tactics to boost sales. They were caught saying on their voice messages to consumers, stating that Procter & Gamble profited, the profits they made would support the Church of Satan. And so when Procter & Gamble found out about it, they sued them because it was not correct. Not that I personally have anything at all against the Church of Satan, and not necessarily that they did, but it's false advertising, and because people are scared of the Church of Satan, they hear that and they don't understand what it is and what they do. They started freaking out, and so they weren't purchasing anything from Procter & Gamble anymore, right? So P&G does a lawsuit, and they won. So good on them. There's a psychologist, Rob Brotherton, and he wrote this book called Suspicious Minds, Why We Believe Conspiracy Theories.
Because they're true.
I like this quote. He says, so one strategy for making people a little more resistant to conspiracy theories would be to get them to slow down and process the claims more analytically and to realize that their brain might be being biased. End quote. Of course, he also would go on to say that that is a lot easier said than done for most people because, and I've talked about implicit bias before in other episodes of this podcast, and it's kind of coming all back, right? Because we have these things in our head, especially, someone says Satan or Church of Satan, and they get all freaked out, right? They're like so upset and so worried about that, but they have no idea what it is. And if they took a moment and realized what it was, what it stands for, and who those people really are, well, they wouldn't be afraid of them at all. They'd be like, oh, you're actually a contributing member of our community. And maybe they'd apologize for being dickheads. But that's the thing. You have to get them to that point. And it's so difficult to get people to that point.
The most common response I get in that situation is, oh, they got you tricked too.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm still going to try to help people. I'm still going to try to give people a pointer. So, so far what I've enjoyed is that reading these articles and reading people's clapbacks about this and saying, oh, well, I found one. I have not seen one single person responding to this saying that they believed any of it so far. Fingers crossed. So perhaps we are finally becoming a little bit more enlightened, and perhaps we are starting to slow down and think more analytically about these things before we just believe something that somebody wrote on a page inside of food.
Wait, are you saying I shouldn't believe the Chinese cookie fortune things? Because I believe them.
Okay, but you're opening that up and you know it's in there. You want it to be in there. That's different. You know what it is.
Oh my God, what if you opened a fortune cookie, but this was inside of it?
I'd lose my fucking shit then.
Oh my God.
That'd be golden.
I'd have to at least consider it.
Yeah.
Given the source.
For legal reasons. Yeah.
Please don't give people any ideas, Kayla.
Too late. You heard it here first, folks.
Well, but I think, you know what is a little refreshing is that a lot of the news sites that I referenced to do the research for this episode, they actually blurred the note. Like the more mainstream news sites blurred the note because they didn't want to spread and give more attention to this fucking note.
But not the canary. The canary is like, here's every version.
I offer the question, if they don't, they're going to do an article about this note. So they're already putting interest in people's minds about the note. So now that person's going to go look it up at a website that might be more pro note. And then they'll read what that website has to say.
Well, that's kind of just a can of worms, isn't it?
Like, just, if you're anti this note, just put it on your website and be like, yeah, look at how fucking stupid this is. Because otherwise people have to go look up what the note says.
I'm actually not going to shit on the canary because never thought I'd say those words together. But anyway, I'm not going to shit on the canary because they are the ones doing the investigative reporting on this. And that is why they have every single version of the note.
I absolutely think that they did a phenomenal job covering this story. And we need good news sites that like will show you all the pictures and show you the evidence. But like I'm talking about when you get, because the Canary has the very detailed article about it. I'm talking the news services like the daytime television that just put it on the morning news or the evening news,
right.
Whatever. When it's a minute long clip about this guy talking about his Lucky Charms, they bleeped it all out so that like Joe Schmo watching whatever at like 7:00 is like, oh, well, I should probably keep an eye on my cereal. And that's kind of the end. Like that was their goal. Their whole goal was, hey, somebody's putting something in food, watch out. Whereas Canary is like, hey, what the fuck is this? Like, did you actually read the note?
I guess I see what you're saying.
In any case, yeah. So I think the takeaway is I think everybody's doing the right thing in both cases. Like TV's doing the right thing and the Canary is doing their part to try to figure out what the fuck's going on. Well, hey, yeah. That's our probably one and only conspiracy theory because I don't talk conspiracies.
We only talk truths here.
But since it was so prominent, I figured we really have
and local.
We have to address it because people have been asking me about it. And some of my family members actually sent me a couple of the articles and was like, hey, do you know about this? I'm like, yeah, we're talking about it next week. As a matter of fact.
For the next 6 weeks, she's been saying that.
God.
Because we've been planning on doing this episode for a while. It's a fun joke, guys. It's
an inside joke. Yeah, because I was sick and then Cord was sick and then shit happened and family.
Most literally shit happened.
Yeah.
My family had plumbing issues.
And I just straight up forgot.
It's sad when I was the responsible one of us, Kayla.
I know for a fact you weren't there because Kiki was by herself in that chat.
Well, yeah, because I had the plumbing issues. But it was what, 10, 15 minutes before recording?
That was Saturday. The Friday before that, she was in the chat by herself and she's like, hey, does anyone want to come hang out with me?
Yeah, that was Friday. Then we rescheduled to Saturday and then you had the toilet explosion.
The apocalypse.
Yeah, the shitpocalypse.
My brain has been numb for over an hour.
It's a lot of words we said. Thanks for listening. So we have added a couple extra episodes to the end of season 4. And because of that, I've said before, I don't have any music lined up. Everybody that we have lined up is going to be for season 5 moving forward.
So this one's called Overture Number 6 by JC. And that's it. Thanks.
Right. So stay spooky and don't die. But if you do, contact us.
With weird cryptic notes. I think that one's fitting for this one. Hide 'em places. In Philly.
But not in food. That's a felony.
Yeah, just like on tiles in Philadelphia.